Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of the movie The Incredible Hulk. This is one of the many MCU movies, but to me, it doesn't really feel like an MCU movie for some reason. I guess due to the later cast change of Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo, but it just kind of felt separate. The Incredible Hulk to me is kind of like the forgotten child of the MCU, as nobody ever really talks about it due to that cast change, but I found it quite enjoyable. The movie started off with basically like a flashback type sequence detailing the creation of the Hulk, how they were trying to create, how Bruce Banner was working with the U.S. government to create a super soldier serum a la Captain America. It went terribly bad, and Bruce Banner, who I guess injected himself, became irradiated with high levels of gamma radiation and started turning into this monster called the Hulk. He basically went on a rampage, attacking people, including Betty Ross, including Ross and his daughter. Then he basically kind of went on the run for like 5 years, hiding out in Brazil. He worked at this drink processing plant or whatever. He was working with this monk to basically control his heartbeat so he doesn't Hulk out. Well, he accidentally cut himself and some blood got into a drink which went to America and irradiated a man, which set the government on Bruce's tail. They sent in basically a special ops team led by Emil Blonsky, and Bruce tried to evade him, but eventually he hulked out. He basically decided to flee back to where he came from to talk to a dude named Mr. Blue. He has been contacting this dude named Mr. Blue for a while to try and figure out a cure. He went to this pizzeria which his friend owns, and he eventually found out that his ex, Betty Ross, had a boyfriend, Leonard Sampson. And upon meeting Bruce, Betty proceeds to basically forget she has said boyfriend, helping Bruce by giving him the research she kept from the project, because she also worked on the project. And he was tracked down by Betty's father, Thunderbolt Ross. And he once again hulked out. Meanwhile, Emil Blonsky was given an injection of Bruce's blood, so he's kind of, not doing too great. Eventually, Bruce and Betty kind of go on the run a bit, and they decide that they're going to meet up with Mr. Blue. Bruce contacts Mr. Blue, which alerts Thaddeus and his team to who Mr. Blue is, and we find out he's Samuel Stearns, a super smart dude who works at a college. Betty and Bruce go and meet up with Stearns. And upon seeing the Hulk, Stearns is like a kid in a candy store. He has mass-produced some blood of Bruce's, which Bruce only sent a little sample of, because he wants to use this to create like a cure for cancers and other things. But Bruce is worried about his blood and knows it's dangerous, so he insists that Stearns destroys it. Well, the army led by Ross and Blonsky, who tracks him down and eventually captures him and Betty Ross. Blonsky proceeds to basically strong arm Stearns into making him a gamma Blonsky a irradiated creature. He calls himself basically he's basically the Abomination now. Then what follows is the climactic fight between Abomination and the Hulk, which the Hulk somehow barely kind of wins, barely. He then flees, and that's kind of how the movie ends, with him, basically trying to get himself under control. We have a post-credit scene with Tony talking with Ross, and that's about it. Overall, it doesn't really feel like an MCU movie, as I said, because even the creators of the MCU basically were forced to forget about the Hulk due to the character being held basically in a limbo state by Universal, I believe, so they couldn't really make movies with him. So we didn't get an appearance of the Elder Ross until Captain America Civil War, and I don't think we've gotten an appearance of, and we didn't get an appearance of Abomination until She-Hulk, and we didn't get an appearance of Betty Ross until, I think, Captain America Brave New World. Overall, I did enjoy this movie, and I found Edward Norton was a shockingly good Hulk, and I can't tell if I actually like him more as a Hulk than Mark Ruffalo or not. They both brought different things to the table that make them good Hulks, in my opinion, or Bruce Banners. I don't know. Overall, I'm going to give this movie 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.